The government has zero tolerance for corruption in the implementation of the social amelioration program. IATF against COVID-19 to finalize the minimum health protocols for various sectors in the country. Davao City prepares for new normal amid another ECQ extension. England reaches over 20,000 coronavirus disease deaths over the weekend. New York State reports its lowest daily increase in coronavirus disease deaths since March 30. And almost Centenarian Britain becomes a hero twice over with a little help from his walking frame with wheels.
Malacanang says the government has zero tolerance for corruption in the implementation of the social amelioration program designed for Filipinos most affected by the coronavirus disease crisis. Rosalie Cos has the details why.
Politicking and corruption have no place in the distribution of the social amelioration program, says the Duterte administration. According to presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque, they will not allow corruption to take place in assisting the Filipinos most affected by the coronavirus pandemic.
Zero tolerance po ang presidente sa korupsyon. Parurusahan po kayo, hahanapin kayo kung sino kayo at sigurado naman po ako, magsisilbing leksyon yan sa lahat na hindi dapat pinagpepiestahan ng ayuda na nakalaan para sa mga naghihirap.
The Duterte administration also looks forward to more effective and faster distribution of the social amelioration benefits for the month of May. Malacanang also ensures those who were not able to receive aid in the first tranche will still be given financial assistance they deserve.
Hopefully po, mas magiging efficient at mas marami tayong mabibigyan ng ayuda dahil mas kaunti na ngayon po yung mga areas after May 1 na mapapasailalim pa rin sa ECQ.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Davao City prepares for the new normal amid another extension of the enhanced community quarantine. Joan Nano tells us why.
Davao City is among the areas in Davao region where enhanced community quarantine is extended until May 15. The city is among the places considered by the IATF against COVID-19 as high risk. But as early as now, the local government is preparing for the so-called new normal in case the measure against coronavirus is downgraded to general community quarantine. According to Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, the city government has instructed businesses, schools, and religious organizations to come up with new policies that will be implemented after the ECQ. That will then be under modified community quarantine.
Gawa po sila ng post-quarantine rules. At doon po sa post-quarantine rules nila, ilalagay nila yung mga control measures nila sa loob ng establishment nila against COVID-19.
The local chief executive is also proposing not to delay the opening of classes for the upcoming school year. Mayor Sara would also like to recommend to the Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education to do online or homeschooling as well as distance learning and modular program.
Hindi po natin alam kung kailan po mag-normalize yung situation. At ayaw po natin na yung mga bata ay hindi po sila magsimula ng pag-aaral nila. Ang gusto natin ay tutuloy pa rin yung pag-open ng school year pero hindi po sila pumapasok sa school.
The Davao City local government is also considering the resumption of public utility jeepney operations. However, jeepneys must be compliant with the new design as with the implementation of the physical distancing policy, while taxis and tricycles within the city remain operational but with limited capacity. The city government is preparing ways to assist people stranded in the city as well as non-residents and those who want to exit Davao City. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Interagency Task Force against Coronavirus Disease will finalize today the minimum health standards for various sectors in the country. According to Malacanang, these protocols will be the new normal soon. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
To ensure the health and safety of citizens before the effectivity of general community quarantine or GCQ in low-risk and medium-risk areas beginning May 1, the IATF against coronavirus disease will finalize this day the minimum health standards or protocols for the country's various sectors. According to Presidential Spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque, these protocols by cluster groups are important. This include the Department of Health for hospitals, testing and hygiene, the Department of Transportation for public transportation, the Department of Trade and Industry for employers, the Labor Department for employees, and the Department of Public Works and Highways for infrastructure projects and construction. If the national government lifts the ECQ in Metro Manila and other areas on May 15, this minimum health standards or new normal will be applied to these areas.
Importante rin na lahat malaman ko anong GCQ kasi ito na po yung new normal.
The palace official adds this is also the Duterte administration's master plan for the gradual jumpstart of the country's economy. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, more than 70 tricycle drivers in Manila City are now without their vehicles and they've received continuous warnings from local authorities. Dante Amento tells us why.
Manila City authorities continue to warn public utility vehicle drivers, particularly tricycle drivers who continue to violate the enhanced community quarantine protocols imposed by the national government and by the city government. Since the ECQ was declared all over Luzon, mass transportation was suspended. That includes multi-cabs and tricycles. Almost 80 tricycles have been impounded at Plaza Miranda in Quiapo, Manila.
Sila yung pumapasada na kahit alam naman nila na bawal.
Police Lieutenant Sherwin Revilla, Field Supervisor of the Manila Police District Station 3, clarifies the owners or drivers of the impounded tricycles may claim their vehicles once the ECQ gets lifted and no penalty. No citation tickets had been issued to the violators.
Grounded lang muna sila kasi kung papayagan po natin sila na ibabalik namin yung katigasan sir ng ulo ng mga tao, nandyan, so possible, gagamitin ulit nila.
To claim, they will just present necessary documents such as vehicle registration to authorities. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The British government is facing growing criticism over its response to the new coronavirus pandemic as the death toll rises. Jovic Burmas explains why.
Coronavirus death toll here in the UK rose to 20,732 according to the government website on Sunday. Britain passed the grim milestone of over 20,000 COVID-19 deaths on Saturday. Britain was slower to impose a lockdown to curb coronavirus transmission than its European neighbors. It is struggling to raise its testing capacity at this time.
152,840 people have tested positive, and that's an increase of 4,463 cases since yesterday. 15,953 people are currently in hospital with the coronavirus in the UK, down from 16,411 on the 25th of April.
The country has the fifth highest official coronavirus death toll in the world, after the United States, Italy, Spain, and France. Back in mid-March, the government's chief scientific advisor Matt Hancock said that keeping the death toll below 20,000 would be a good outcome. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Boris Johnson returned to his Downing Street residence on Sunday after recovering from COVID-19 and will resume work. He is set to take the helm again with pressure growing for the government to explain how it will ease a month-old coronavirus lockdown. Jovic Burmas, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Marikina City COVID-19 testing center is expected to finally be accredited by the Department of Health or DOH on Wednesday. Asher Kadapan Jr. will detail why.
Personnel of the COVID-19 testing center in Marikina City have yet to accomplish the proficiency training required for the facility to gain accreditation from the Department of Health or DOH. According to Mayor Marcelino Teodoro, the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine or RITM explained there was a slight problem in the data results of the initial panel testing conducted in the Marikina City testing center. He said that the test kits from the University of the Philippines National Institute of Health or UPNIH may not be compatible with the equipment used in the city's testing center. To try to resolve the issue, they will redo the panel testing using the kits approved by the RITM.
May 3-day turnaround period. Kung magte-test ngayon, siguro hanggang Miyerkules ay malalaman namin kung ano yung results.
Once the issue is resolved and the facility is accredited by the DOH, actual swabbing on Marikina residents will immediately follow. Mayor Teodoro also plans to implement the new normal in the city until the end of the year. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, a group of nurses opposes the Department of Health statement that many healthcare workers in the country get infected with the COVID-19 virus because of exposure outside their workplace. Aiko Miguel explains why.
It seems that healthcare workers are even blamed why many of them have been infected with coronavirus disease. 1,245 medical professionals across the country have contracted COVID-19. We have lost 27 of them.
When they go home and then they go back to work and then they get infections outside of their workplaces.
Paglabas, okay, tatanggalin nila yung PPEs nila, pero yung scrub suits underneath, hindi nila tinatanggal. So lalabas sila. So pagka gano'n na nangyari, talagang sabi nila, you will expect a contamination to happen.
But the real reason, according to the Filipino Nurses United or FNU, is the lack of personal protective equipment or PPE. Some of them do not even eat, drink, nor take breaks so that they wouldn't soil or discard their PPE. They are much vulnerable to the disease because of long duty hours of more than 8 hours. This compromises their body's immune system. It is also harmful to their health to wear PPE for 12 hours of duty for 7 days or 14 days straight duty. They suffer from suffocation, exhaustion, and dehydration because of extreme heat from the coveralls which compromise their breathing. The FNU calls on the government to safeguard health workers' rights and guarantee to minimize exposure by limiting their work for an ideal of 8 hours. The government should also provide them enough and complete sets of PPE. The World Health Organization is worried about the high infection rate among healthcare workers in the Philippines. WHO even recommends the country to lessen a healthcare workers' duty in hospitals. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Justice will investigate hospitals in the country that allegedly violate the Anti-Hospital Deposit Law or Republic Act number 10932. This comes after a woman who gave birth died from blood loss after being refused by 6 hospitals. A hospital even allegedly asked for deposit before admission. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque said those who will be proven guilty will be punished with imprisonment.
Inassure po ako ni Secretary Maynard Guevara na iimbestigahan daw po ang kasong ito at kung kinakailangan, sasampahan sila ng kaso sa hukuman ng sa gayon, mapataran sila ng parusa. No? Ang parusa po sa violation ng Anti-Hospital Deposit Law, meron po yung kulong.
The Philippine National Police or PNP explains a viral video of a foreign national in Dasmariñas Village, Makati City, scolding a police officer outside his residence. Police say they are preparing charges against the foreigner. Leah Ilagan clarifies why.
This is a video that has recently gone viral on social media. You will notice a foreign guy named Javier Para together with his wife Abigail Salvador, reprimanding a police officer named Police Senior Master Sergeant Roland Von Madrona. The video was taken outside the residence of Para in Dasmariñas Village, Makati City. Based on a report by the Makati Police, Village Chairwoman Rosana Wang asked assistance from the PNP in patrolling the barangay together with Bantay Bayan Esteban Gaan. At past 5 in the afternoon, Madrona saw the house helper of Para and Salvador, named Sherilyn Escalante, watering the plants outside their house without a face mask. The police officer politely cautioned Escalante and told her to wear a mask. Escalante then went inside the house. Her employers came outside and angrily scolded the police officer, telling him to get out of his residence. He also challenged Madrona on the right implementation of ECQ. Because of the incident, the PNP leadership orders a thorough investigation on the incident and to prepare a case against the foreigner. Barangay Dasmariñas released a statement saying they are preparing a case against Para, like verbal assault, unjust vexation, violation of Article 151 of the revised penal code for violating the local ordinances for not wearing a face mask. In addition, is the violation of Republic Act 11332, Section 9E for violating DOH protocols. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
You also don't need to come here to my giving lessons when I'm supporting ATP.
Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs, in the country which had violated the law will not be allowed to operate again. The Duterte administration clarifies that under the enhanced community quarantine and general community quarantine, POGOs are not allowed to run. But if given authorization to operate, the tax generated shall be used for the government's response against coronavirus disease. Meanwhile, the palace lets the Commission on Immigration and Deportation investigate the case of the 44 Chinese nationals caught for the illegal online gambling operation in Parañaque City last Friday night.
Lahat po ng lumabag sa batas, hindi na pabubuksan. Wala pong mga protector dyan dahil lahat po ng POGOs ay nasa ilalim po ng PAGCOR. Tanging PAGCOR lang po ang pwedeng magbigay ng otoridad sa kanila na mag-operate.
Come April 30, the national government might realign uncommitted funds from its various agencies. According to the Senate leadership, there is no need for President Rodrigo Duterte to seek supplemental budget from Congress if the funds turn out insufficient. Arlene Delgado tells us why.
Malacanang admits the COVID-19 response fund, worth almost 400 billion pesos, is about to be all used up. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says 352 billion of the 397 billion peso budget has been used for various purposes, including the emergency subsidy for affected households and workers and the purchase of medical supplies and equipment. The official adds the unreleased budget from the 2019 budget is only 77 billion pesos and not 900 billion pesos as claimed by Senator Panfilo Lacson.
Pagdating po ng April 30, malalaman natin kung ano pa yung mga uncommitted funds that we can realign from the different agencies and departments.
If the uncommitted funds from various agencies are not enough, Roque says they will request Congress for a supplemental budget. However, Senate President Vicente Soto III has earlier noted there is no need for the palace to ask for a supplemental budget, as President Duterte was already given the power to realign the national budget under the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Roque adds it will leave to the Department of Public Works and Highways to come up with its decision on realigning its funds, after Senator Lacson made the call to realign the alleged pork insertions worth 84 billion pesos made by several lawmakers in the 4.1 trillion peso 2020 national budget. Jorlene Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
There will be a new norm even for teachers and students when classes reopen in Taguig City. Ray Pelayo tells us why.
Around 4,000 public and private teachers in Taguig City are taking web training. This aims to prepare them to the new form of teaching after the enhanced community quarantine, particularly for Cyber Lab at Home. This is a new online program which is part of the Taguig Online Resources and Community Hub, or TORCH. Mayor Lino Cayetano says the number of students in a classroom may be limited when classes resume, so they will use the internet for other activities. Torch program includes training and enrichment courses from the Taguig online campuses or TechTalk, through which residents of Taguig City may enroll courses like accountancy or computer courses.
Doon sa iba nating mga gusto magpalit ng courses, no, in a matter of 1 week bago matapos yung ECQ, meron na silang certificate sa Adobe Photoshop, sa Adobe Premiere, sa After Effects.
For interested applicants, you may visit tagiginfo.com. Ray Pilayo, UNTV, Use and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A Valenzuela City resident sought help from Serbisyong Bayanihan today after he failed to claim the financial aid he was expecting to receive from the local government. But the DSWD assured him he would get the aid, being a qualified beneficiary. Vincent Arboleda has the details why.
Manuel Jola, a resident of Barangay Lawang, Valenzuela City, expected an 8,000 peso assistance from the Department of Social Welfare and Development. To his surprise, he did not receive any when he went to claim it in his barangay. In today's episode of the UNTV program, Serbisyong Bayanihan, Manuel said the local staff interviewed him about his job, to which he replied that he is a part-time tricycle driver. The local staff then told him he was supposed to go to the LTFRB office to claim the aid, and not from their barangay. Hence, he sought help from Serbisyong Bayanihan to resolve his worry.
Kukunin po sana kasi ano daw po yun kung meron daw po akong pinapilapan sa LTFRB. Binawi ko po. Nasa akin po yung form po, kuya.
So nasa iyo yung form mo ng social amelioration. Pero wala ka pang natatanggap sa LTFRB, tama ba?
Wala po.
Kuya Daniel relayed Manuel's concern to DSWD NCR Regional Director Vic Tomas for answers. According to Director Tomas, if Manuel did not receive aid from the LTFRB, then he is qualified to be given aid from the DSWD.
Ang gagawin lang po natin, nabanggit ni Kuya Daniel, yung pong cross-matching and validation po para hindi po madoble.
Director Tomas also assured Manuel he will be calling the local SAP team of the Valenzuela LGU to act on his case.
Sir Manuel, wag po kayong mabahala kung sakaling sinabi na hindi po dahil gusto lang po makatiyak ng ating barangay na hindi rin po sila magkamali. Dahil ito po ay sadyang hindi perpektong sistema, pero ang pagbigay tulong po sa LTFRB, gusto ko pong maging klaro, pareho lang po ng amount.
According to the guidelines of the Social Amelioration Program, a qualified individual living in Metro Manila will receive 8,000 pesos cash. Director Tomas also appealed to barangay chairmen to submit the list of other qualified families who were not included on the first tranche of the program. The list will be submitted to the DSWD Central Office and the IATF for consideration to be included in the Social Amelioration Program. The local government units together with the DSWD continue to distribute the SAP to qualified beneficiaries in the country. Vincent Arboleda, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A total of 36 Filipino seafarers of Celebrity Apex arrived in Manila from Paris this afternoon through the Philippine government's repatriation efforts for Filipinos working in countries affected by the coronavirus pandemic. 13 other Filipinos on board Air Japan flight NH869 landed at Naiya coming from Algeria, which included 3 students and 1 tourist from Japan and 9 seafarers of MS Amera and MS Albatros from Germany, in coordination with JGC Corp. 121 more OFWs from Algeria also made a safe return today. Meanwhile, based on the updated figures today, the DFA confirms 52 new COVID-19 cases, 49 new recoveries, and 1 new death among Filipino nationals in Europe and Middle East regions. Philippine Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Joel S. Garcia this afternoon met with representatives from licensed manning and shipping agencies at the PCG National Headquarters. The PCG commandant discussed the implementation of a mandatory 14-day facility-based quarantine and mandatory rapid antibody testing with an option for RT-PCR testing for all Filipino seafarers returning to the Philippines. Admiral Garcia calls for the full cooperation of the private sector in providing necessary assistance and support to Filipino seafarers who will be disembarked and transferred to their designated quarantine facilities this week amid the coronavirus pandemic. A man confessed to local police in Laguna province he used the government's cash aid to buy illegal drugs. Now he and 3 others are behind bars. Erwin Colobong details why.
4 men were caught in the act of using illegal drugs by Drug Enforcement Unit personnel from the Pagsanhan Police in Laguna Province. The 4 males were accosted in the middle of a banana plantation in Barangay Buboy, Pagsanhan Town. The police confiscated 3 sachets of suspected shabu and drug paraphernalia from the suspects. Authorities were dismayed after learning that one of the arrested, identified as Melvin Constantino, used the money he benefited from the government social amelioration program to buy the illegal substances.
Ang nakakabahala po dito ay isa sa mga nahuling gumagamit ng shabu ay katatapos lamang tumanggap ng ayuda mula sa ating gobyerno sa ilalim ng Social Amelioration Project o SAP.
The 4 are now under police custody. Authorities are preparing charges to be filed against the suspects. Sherwin Kulubong, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Gym and fitness centers will remain closed even in places shifting to general community quarantine. Let's find out the reasons why from Asher Kadapan Jr.
The Department of Health, or DOH, has been advising the public to do physical exercises regularly to boost their immune system. And by boosting one's immune system, this helps the body naturally fight diseases, including illnesses caused by viruses. But the DOH clarifies that people must work out right within their homes. That means not in a gym or fitness centers, which requires traveling outdoors or even interacting with other people.
Wala pong rekomendasyon ang DOH sa ngayon tungkol sa pagbubukas ng mga gym or fitness centers. Sa tuwing iminumungkahi po namin na mag-exercise para palakasin ang ating resistensya, ang ibig po namin sabihin dito ay ehersisyo sa loob ng ating bahay hanggat makakaya. Marami naman pong mga workout o exercise na maaaring gawin sa loob ng ating tahanan.
Based on the guidelines approved and released by the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF-EID, fitness centers and gyms are refrained by law to resume operations even after shifting to general community quarantine.
Ayon na nga po sa IATF guidelines natin tungkol sa general community quarantine, isa po ang mga fitness centers sa mga dapat manatiling nakasara dahil sa posibilidad na baka doon po kumalat ang infeksyon.
Remember that we can stay healthy by staying safe at home. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, here's Arel Camilla live from Japan. Arel, good evening.
Good evening, Diego. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo reports the state's lowest daily increase in coronavirus disease deaths since March 30, though the number is still not good. Aaron Romero details why.
New York State reported 367 new deaths from the coronavirus on Sunday. This number is the state's lowest daily total since March 30, according to Governor Andrew Cuomo. He added, however, overall hospitalization rate is down.
The number of intubations is down. Even the number of new COVID cases is down, still not good. Still 1,000 new COVID cases yesterday, to put it in focus. That would normally be terrible news. It's only not terrible news compared to where we were.
Amid scattered protests across the country calling for stay-at-home orders to be lifted, New York and other states have extended their stay-at-home restrictions to mid-May. The Democratic governor said first to reopen are construction and manufacturing businesses, which could restart after May 15 in the upstate region if cases continue to decline. Certain precautions will be in place. Phase 2 would then be more a business-by-business analysis using their matrix.
They have to think about how they're going to reopen with this quote-unquote new normal. What precautions are they going to take in the workplace? What safeguards are they going to put in place? So it's very much going to be up to businesses.
Georgia, Oklahoma, Alaska, and South Carolina have already taken steps to restart their economies following a month of government-ordered lockdowns. Aaron Romero, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Hundreds of Cuban healthcare workers land in South Africa at the weekend amid the coronavirus pandemic. Rico Rivadeneira reports why.
Hundreds of Cuban healthcare workers landed in South Africa late on Sunday. The arrival is the latest of more than 20 medical brigades the country has sent worldwide to combat the coronavirus pandemic. Others call it socialist solidarity, and others medical diplomacy. The team of 216 landed at Waterkloof Air Force Base in Pretoria, where they were welcomed by South African government officials and members of the Cuban community. Cuba has sent 1,200 healthcare workers largely to vulnerable African and Caribbean nations, but also to rich European countries such as Italy that have been particularly hard hit by the coronavirus. Cuba, which has more than 1,000 confirmed cases of the virus at home and 54 deaths, has one of the world's highest number of doctors per capita and is renowned for its focus on prevention, community-oriented primary health care, and preparedness to fight epidemics. South Africa has recorded 4,546 cases, including 87 deaths as of Sunday. The country has a special relationship with Cuba, which supported fight against apartheid, a conflict that included Cuban troops who fought and died in southern Angola. South Africa sent medical supplies to Cuba to assist in the fight against coronavirus. Cuba's embassy there wrote on Twitter. Rico Rivadeneira, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Researchers in a Hong Kong university say they have invented a coating effective in killing bacteria and viruses. They say the new coating can provide 90 days of significant protection from microbes. Ferdy Petalio explains why.
A team of researchers from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology claim to have developed an antiviral coating called MAP-1. The coating took 10 years to develop, the researchers say.
Coating can kill numbers of virus, for example, coronavirus, a flu virus, and something like novel virus. Also, it can kill a lot of bacteria.
Kwan says that unlike common disinfecting methods such as diluted bleach and alcohol, the MAP-1 coating is further boosted by heat-sensitive polymers that encapsulates and release disinfectants upon human contact.
These are places that are frequently touched, and at the same time, they serve as very effective fomite or medium for transmission of diseases. So with that, the application of this product will be most effective in preventing transmission of diseases.
The coating that forms after spraying has millions of nanocapsules containing disinfectants.
It's better after they did the coating. They are the professionals who are specified in this field, so I feel more confident.
After you spray the coat, there is a protective layer. I feel like it has strengthened our protection against viruses.
With help from a Hong Kong charity, the non-toxic coating has been sprayed around the homes of more than 1,000 low-income families in the city. Following clinical tests, the coating has been made available for commercial purchase. The coating was approved for official and mass consumer use in February and will hit stores here in Hong Kong in May of this year. The researchers said some shopping malls, schools, and sport training facilities in the city have adopted the coating. Ferdy Petalio, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In other news, authorities in South Korea say there are no reports of unusual movements of its neighbor's leader Kim Jong-un, who was reportedly in the eastern side of the Korean peninsula at the weekend. Mirasol Abogadil has the details why.
South Korean officials call for caution amid reports that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un may be ill, emphasizing that they have detected no unusual movements in North Korea. South Korea's Unification Ministry Deputy Spokesperson Cho Hae-shil said today there is nothing to confirm when asked about reports that Kim was in Wonsan, Gangwon Province, North Korea.
But as the National Security Council Standing Committee has said, it confirms there is no unusual movement in North Korea. That stance is still valid.
The deputy spokeswoman said earlier today that the military hotline is operating normally. There's no more to say when she was asked about whether they discussed the recent issue with North Korea. Rumors and speculation over the North Korean leader's health began after he made no public appearance at a key state holiday on April 15th and has since remained out of sight. South Korea media last week reported that Kim may have undergone cardiovascular surgery or was in isolation to avoid exposure to the new coronavirus. Mirasol Abogadil, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the stories in some countries around the globe. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you, RL Camilla, reporting live from Japan.
And now let's take a peek at the updated tally of coronavirus cases around the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has now reached a total of 2,980,053 confirmed cases in 185 countries. The fast-spreading disease has also claimed 206,640 lives with 869,548 recovered patients across the globe. The United States of America, as of today, has almost 1 million confirmed COVID-19 cases with over 100,000 deaths. Spain comes second with more than 200,000 positives, but with more than 117,000 death cases. Italy, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Turkey are trailing, all with more than 100,000 confirmed cases. Iran is the 8th most affected country in the world with 90,481 confirmed cases and almost 70,000 death cases. Russia and China both have more than 80,000 recorded positive cases. Brazil has 63,100 COVID positives with a death toll of less than half that number. Canada is the 12th most hit country with 47,147 confirmed cases. Meanwhile, the Philippines, as of 4 p.m. today, has 7,777 confirmed positives after reporting 198 new cases. The death toll is now at 511. But through the help of our brave healthcare workers, a total of 932 patients across the country have recovered from the deadly viral disease. As the world expects a new norm, in order to avoid another pandemic caused by viruses, protective gear will be part of our daily lives. Find out various innovations, designs of protective gear against COVID-19 as Mon Hokson reports.
If there are booming businesses nowadays, one is selling face masks, face shields, personal protective equipment, and other protective gear against the new coronavirus. In fact, there's so many choices when it comes to protective gear against COVID-19 when you search in online shops. For PPEs alone, there are lots and lots of designs to choose from. If you're bored with the usual blue suit, you can find many other alternatives online. If you want to be fashionable, don't worry because you can buy beautiful designs for fashionistas. The design is so good you can even wear it when working out to strengthen your physique. Aside from PPEs, you can also buy 3D printed face shields online, which are very light and easy to assemble. And since there is not enough supply of face masks due to a high demand, our gallant frontliners also need to wear a face shield. This is believed to be an effective protection because it covers the entire face. In other countries, they are making face masks with copper. Based on studies, coronaviruses die on copper. That is why it is in demand in other parts of the world. When a face mask is not on hand, a scuba mask is another great alternative. Until there is no cure for COVID-19, protective gear will be part of the new norm across the globe. So why not be creative if protective gears will be a part of our daily lives from now on? Mon Hokson, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Meanwhile, an almost centenarian Briton becomes a hero twice over with a little help from his walking frame with wheels. Nina Armilio tells us why.
British war veteran Captain Tom Moore has just turned into a coronavirus fundraising hero. Guinness World Record on Friday added 2 titles, just days shy of his 100th birthday on April 30th. The World War II veteran took the record for the most money raised by an individual through a charity walk. On Friday afternoon, he collected more than £28.6 million, or $35.2 million, for the National Health Service, or NHS, by completing laps of his garden. Moore used a walking frame with wheels since he had broken his hip. He had originally hoped to raise just £1,000, but he shot past that as media attention from around the globe zoomed in on his home in Bedfordshire, central England. He was also recognized as the oldest person to reach number 1 in British Record. Said the title had been held by Welsh star Tom Jones, who was 68 when he sang on the charity single Berry Islands in the Stream in 2009.
I think we've got to accept that what is going on at the moment is very serious and it's very extensive. But I think we must also remember that things will get better. There's a song which we're talking about, when the sun will shine again, and then we will never ever walk alone.
Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, we are at a time when the country is under a state of health emergency. The cooperation of all Filipinos is imperative to avoid the deadly virus. We are calling on everyone to be calm.
And most importantly, let us join together in prayer for our country and for the whole world to survive this crisis. You may join us in our daily UNTV community prayer at these hours as flashed on your screens. And those are the reasons behind the news. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And I am Angelo Castro III. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.